Alrighty, welcome everybody. I hope everyone is ready to craft along with me tonight. I'm so excited about the cards we're going to be doing tonight. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome! I'm so happy you're here with me. So I've got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of really quick before we get started. So for those of you that are new to my channel, this is my craft along. And the way that this works is that I will tell you the week before. So last week I told everybody what suite of products or what bundles or what I would be using this week. So in hopes that everyone would be ready to craft with me. Now, those that placed a $40 order last week actually got the card kit. So everything's cut out for them. And so I wanted to kind of explain this to you, but because I do send out card kits, I don't spend time doing the die cutting while I'm going through the class. And so that might be something that you'll have to watch how I put the cards together and then maybe go back and replay this in my YouTube channel or my Facebook channel. And then pause it or while you're doing the die cutting. For those that placed a $40 order, and you don't have to buy this set, you can just place a $40 order through me for anything that you need as far as your card making or scrapbooking supplies. And then I sent you the kits and all the die cuts are already done for you. So you guys will be in the same place I am as far as having to get things put together. I think the one thing that is cut out for you that wasn't cut out for me is a banner, which I will talk about when we get to that point. But let me go over a few things that are happening with Stamping Up. First, my information. So if you do place an order with me this week, please use the March host code. This is the last month for a host code, because starting in April, all reward points, everything is going to go to you, the customer, which I'm so excited about. So you guys are going to be earning your own rewards, and then you'll be able to use that to buy product. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. There's my email information. Obviously, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram is Julie's Creative Stamping. My YouTube channel is a little bit different. You have to put Julie Brown Julie's Creative Stamping, and then please check out my blog. I do have a blog where I put a lot of written information to help you with your stamping. And so let's discuss what we're going to be, or actually, let me talk about a few other things here. So yes, do not use this code right here, but I do want to announce that I am restarting my little Golden Book Junk Journal class. It's going to start in April. And so if you're interested in that, let me know. That is not the correct QR code, but just reach out. You can either make a comment in this or you can email me. And if you're interested in doing that, I have both in-person and online classes available for that. It is a 4-month class. So the fee is $65, but that's spread between 4 months of class, and each class lasts about 2 hours. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, I provide everything that you could possibly need to put that together except your basic supplies. So again, if you have a question on that, let me know. I also have a Junk Journal Monthly Club where I spend each month. This one is per month. It is a $30 fee per month. Again, I supply you with all the stuff that you need to create what we're doing. And basically this class is it's learning about junk journaling. It's learning about all the things that you need, all the things that you need to make so that when you finally put a junk journal together, which we do every 3 months, you will have all the stuff to go inside of it. All right, next thing. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. Okay, get rid of this one. Go to this one. I don't know why that's keeping that in the background, but I just wanted to let you know these are the low inventory suites as of, actually the Nest of Winter is no longer in there. So I think it's actually gone. So these are the suites that are in low inventory. And then I also wanted to pop up, the designer series paper that is also low inventory. So this was as of literally 5 minutes ago. You can still get some of this, but it is on low inventory. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And then let's see, where are we at? Let me get rid of that. Will this come up? Okay, save the date. So for those of you that are in the Farmington, New Mexico area, I am going to do my second annual retreat. I did my first one last year because I had a lot of people that had no idea what a retreat was like. And so this one is kind of a day. I call it more of a day. I should call it a day spa because we don't have an overnight. We do it here in town. Last year we did it on just one day, Saturday. This year we're going to be doing Friday and Saturday. And so right now I'm just asking you guys to save the date, put this on your calendars, get that in. And so that you can come. Now you can choose to either come one day or you can come both days. So again, just put that on your calendar and I'll be sending out registration and more information on that as well. So keep that in mind. And then because I'm going to be at retreat next week, the craft along that I'm doing tonight, I'm going to offer this kit one more week. So if you do place an order, you do need to get your orders in no later, listen to me, no later than Friday because I will be leaving next week and I have to go to Albuquerque first before I leave. And so if you see these cards tonight, you decide you like them, yes, I want them, go in, place an order of $40 and I'll send you that kit and then you will just rewatch it next week because I will not be doing a live next week because I will be on an airplane on the way to North Carolina for our retreat. Okay, I think I got everything taken care of. So let's get started with our cards. And so for those of you that got the kits, I did have them labeled like card 1, card 2. So we're going to be working on card 1. And then let me just show you. The suite is in the mini catalog. It's on page 43. The suite is no longer available as a suite right now because I know they are out of these party dots. Like I said, this paper is on super low inventory, but you can buy bits and pieces of this. So if you go to page 43, you will see everything that I'm working with tonight. And again, if you place the $40 order, you won't have to worry about that because I'll mail you the kits and all you need is the stamp sets. And you don't even need these stamp sets. As long as you have stamp sets that have birthday sentiments on it, you'll be able to do these cards. Okay, so I used, obviously, here's the stamp set and the beautiful dies that go along with this. So card 1. And again, if you're crafting along with me and you did not get the card kits, then any of the die cutting I've obviously done for them, so you guys will have to kind of catch up on that side of it. All right, well, if I could find any of my stuff, I was just down in Albuquerque, so hold on. All right, sorry. I had to go get some stuff out of my bag. I literally just got back from Albuquerque like a little bit ago. So also don't forget, you guys can comment. You can say you're here. If you have any questions, let me know, especially for those that are actually crafting with me. So you should have the pool party card base. And then you should have this basic white. You should have actually had 2 basic whites in your kit. One is going to be for the inside, one is going to be for the front. And so we're going to do our stamping first. Now, this piece for you guys has already been die cut for you. I'm going to go ahead and stamp mine first and then die cut it. But for you guys, I did it, I pre-stamped it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this really cute banner across the top of this. And I'm using Pretty in Pink ink. Again, if you guys don't have the exact inks, just pick an ink that you feel matches the paper that came in your kit. Okay. So this is going to go here. Now, when I cut this out, it's going to be end to end, just so you know. Alrighty. I feel a little discombobbled because, you know, traveling and all. All right, then what we're going to do, and I wanted to show you how I did this because these are 3 different words, and they're separate. And so just so you guys know how I line mine up, I wanted to show that to you guys. And so what I'm doing is I use my graph paper to kind of set things up so that they line up properly. So I'm going to put the hooray, and then I'm going to put the for, and then I'm going to put your, and I'm going to try to squeeze that up so that it lines up right over here. And what I'm trying to look for is the lines. I'm trying to get my letters, and it's really hard when I've got a camera, but I think that looks kind of straight. But I'm trying to line up the bottom of each of these with the lines on there. Then what I do is once I have those down, I bring in my block and I pick them up, and then I'm gonna do a test stamp just to make sure that everything looks straight. And so then I test it, and when I look at that, I'm like, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty straight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my white piece here, and we're going to bring this in and stamp it down. And that is how I line up. Now, if you don't have graph paper, you can use a ruler to line all this up to make sure that it is all straight as you're doing it. So and then of course, you know, if you have a glass mat, you can use your glass mat as well. Okay, so you're going to get to watch me die cut this piece out because, like I said, yours was already die cut out, but I did not get mine die cut out before class time due to traveling. And honestly, what happened was I forgot to take this die set with me down to Albuquerque. I was like, oh my heck, I needed that. So now I'm just going to line this up. This is one of the cutest suites I think that we have this time around. And I'm going to show you at the end of this. I didn't have time to put cards together, but there are so many. When you purchase this paper, you get a lot of die cuts. And you talk about easy card making. Like all of the die cuts that I cut out for you, didn't need to, I wouldn't even have had to do, because I could have used the die cuts that came with the, that were already die cut, that are already really pretty. And so what I'm talking about, you'll see this whole packet. These are all it was a die cut sheet, and these are all the die cuts that come on one of the sheets. And you can just, like, seriously put this on a card with a little sentiment and you're done. I mean, it's got just some super cool die cuts that make making cards. So besides these quick and easy cards I'm showing you tonight, even if you just get the paper, you're going to have the ability to make some pretty awesome cards with just all of those die cuts and the designer series paper, because I think this paper is gorgeous as well. Okay, so then there's that. So sorry to make you guys wait and watch that part of it. Alrighty, so now we're going to start putting your card together. And so what I want you to do, oh, I guess we should have done the stamping on the inside. Let's get all of our stamping out of the way. So on the inside, I just came in because the front says hooray for your, and I'm just using the big, so if you guys have the stamp set, use the big birthday stamp. And we're just going to stamp that right in the middle of this. We're going to keep this one. And again, I'm going to show that to you again. If you're not sure about getting your stamps lined up, if you will just use your graph paper. And what I'm trying to do is put the bottom of the B and this part of the Y all on the same line. And then I'm just going to pick it up with my block, and then I know that my stamp is on there straight. Then I'm going to also line up my paper so that it's straight. And then I'm just going to take that and just stick it right there in the middle. Okay, and then there's the birthday in the middle. So again, if you guys are crafting along with me and you do not have this stamp set, just pick something that says, you know, hooray for you, happy day, whatever you have in your sentiments, and make it work. whatever you need to do to make that work. All right, so we'll set that to the side and we'll put that in just a little bit. All right, so let's work on the front of our card. So actually, let's go ahead and put this in, and then we can just work on the front of our card. Hopefully I have enough. This already looks like it's on its last leg, and I probably don't have a replacement sitting close by me, because again, I've just got home, so I was kind of rushing my setup here tonight. And so I know I don't talk to you guys about this a lot. The way I line up my cards when I'm putting them together is I work from the bottom up. And so I'm looking and I'm trying to get the same distance in the bottom and the left and right sides. And once I feel like I have that, then I basically just lay it down. And that's usually how I can get mine pretty straight. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and put this piece on here. You know what? Yeah, we are. I was thinking maybe not, but yeah, we are. I don't have to trim anything off of this one. All right, so again, I start at the bottom and I try to make sure that I have the same distance from the bottom edge and my left and right edges, and I'm going to lay that down. And then I'm actually going to start. So what I've done is, you guys have your little strips here. And for those of you that did not get the kit, these strips are 1.5 by 4. And I'm sorry, I should have told you. So the card base is a normal card base, and these white are 4 by 5.25. And then these two designer series pieces, again, are 1.5 by 4. So I'm going to start with my bottom one, and I'm going to stick that onto this white mat. Okay. And then this one, I think we're only leaving maybe like a 1/16 of an inch from like the top and the bottom. So the top and the bottom are going to be a little bit closer. But I'm not going to lay these down like solid yet. I'm going to kind of come in, and then I'm going to kind of, once I have that one where it's not going to move, then I'm going to bring in my other two pieces and see if I need to do any adjusting. So I could adjust up a little bit, and that's why I oops, that pressed down. All right, I'm going to leave it. I didn't mean to press that down. I must have hit it and it pressed down. So it'll still look fine. So there's that piece. Then we're going to come in with that pool party piece that is already cut for you in your kit. So hopefully those of you that have the kit, you should be able to just play along with me here. Oh, see, I ran out. Come on, let go. All right, let me shut. So then this is going to go flush to that one, just like so, and lay down. All right, sorry, I had to grab a replacement. So if you guys have never seen this, so obviously our refills for our Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus come in these little envelopes. And so you're just going to pull this out, and then you're going to open your case, and you're going to pull this out, and then you're going to take this. And the one thing I will tell you is there's a little notch right here. You need to make sure that that notch gets on one of these little pegs, these things that stick out right there. So I always make sure that that notch goes down on top of like it slides, that the little notches slide up into that notch, because it'll save you a lot of heartache with these. Okay, so now we're ready for this next piece, and you guys may have already moved ahead of me because you were prepared and your adhesive was ready to go. And again, you guys can use liquid glue for this as well. Whatever is your preferred method. I tend to use my Stampin' Seal Plus just because it's quicker. I do like my liquid glue. And this would have been a good time to use liquid glue, because when you're trying to get things to go together and you might need to move them. And then this other really pretty with the gold filigree paper on it, we're going to stick this right on this end like so. But liquid glue would have been good because it's got some wiggle room. So like, you know how this piece kind of got stuck and I couldn't shift it after I realized that I, could have left a little more room this way and a little more room at the bottom. If I'd have used liquid glue, I could have pulled that right back up and adjusted. But I'm okay with it doing this. Okay, so then the next piece that we want to put on is our little banner. And I'm doing everything flat on this card because the bow that we're fixing to make is kind of fluffy. You guys already know you have the mesh bow in your kit. You should have gotten that in your kit. And so we're going to be making a bow out of that. And so this, I'm just basically centering top, bottom, left, and right. And don't forget, guys, you can, if you're on with me, you can type in comments. And then I pre-cut these cute little tassels out for you. And they're going to go right up here. And I'm going to do the right one first. And I want to keep it inside this designer series paper. So that's going to lay like that. And then we're going to do this next one. And this one is going to lay like so. All right. So we've got it. That's our card so far. Then you guys got a piece of this really fun gold woven ribbon. And so I'm going to, this is probably way too much. So I'm going to grab my bow maker just because this is going to help me figure out how much. And this bow maker was a little hard to use, I will tell you, but I'm going to show you how I used it anyway. Only because this bow is wide. All right. Okie dokie. So here we go. Now, if there are those of you that are watching that placed an order and you have not received the card kits, please reach out to me so I can check and make sure that they did get mailed. Again, you can rewatch this at any time and make those cards. And I do apologize if they did not get to you in time. But understand that when I do these, like usually I'm announcing what's happening next week. But because I'm going to be at convention, I'm doing these same cards will be available. So any purchases made between now and Friday, you will get these same card kits. And you'll be able to go back. But you can see how this is wider. Here, let me bring this in just so it helps you to see better. So you can see how this ribbon is like higher than my openings here. But I'm just going to show you how I still was able to do this. And we're making the bigger bow. So I usually make the small one. So now that we're making the bigger bow, this is one leg. And then these two are another leg. And then this is our center. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around. And then I have to kind of pull this all down for just a hot second so that I can get this to go through that center right there. So this is kind of a good lesson for all of us when we're using a ribbon that's wide, wider than what we're used to for this. And then we're going to bring this around, and I'm not pulling any of this super tight because I don't want to ruin the ribbon, right? And so then I brought that around the bottom, and then I'm going to tie my knot. But do you see how I had to kind of scrunch that down a little bit to get it through that center? Okay, and then I'm going to be very gentle pulling this off. And now I can fluff it up. So once you get it off of there, then you can make it all nice and fluffy, and it'll fluff right back up for you. Fun, right? This just makes such a fun bow. Okay, so now we're going to bring this in, and we're going to bring our card back. And I wanted my bow to be up in this corner right here. And so I'm going to actually use some glue dots. Now, if you're afraid that it's going to get manhandled in the mail or something, you could put a couple of glue dots and some liquid glue just to make sure that it holds in the way. And I'm going to show you how I would do that. So if I were going to do both, what I would do is I'm going to take my two, I'm going to kind of keep looking where I'm putting this. So my two glue dots are going to be like here and here. And then I would come in with my liquid glue and put a little dot of that liquid glue right there. That way the liquid glue is not going to hinder or mess with the glue dots. But then once this dries, it's definitely going to hold this ribbon in place. But in the meantime, the glue dots are going to do their job and hold that ribbon where it's supposed to. So basically I kind of put the liquid glue behind the center, and it's going to hold that all in place. And then all you've got to do is come in and trim how you want. And so I kind of want to trim this so that you can see the words. Oops. And there's that one. And then again, you guys trim how you want. So there is, oh wait, I've one more thing. These are the dots that are, again, no longer available, but you guys got them in your kit because I sent them in your kit. You didn't get the whole packet, but you got what you needed to do this card. These are out of stock right now, hopefully to be back, because I really like these because they're kind of more flat, and I just really like the size of them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let's see, one here. And then I think I'm going to bring a small one in down here, and then another bigger one up there of the pool party. Almost forgot that part. You guys were probably going, hey, what about these dots that are in this kit? All righty. Okay, guys, so that is card one. And again, I love this. I love this paper. I love this set. I just think it's pretty cool because the other thing that you can do, which I love, and I did want to point out to you, like I could have, like if you know like what year, like what birthday it is, I could have put hooray for your, and then put the number here, and then it would say like 10th birthday, 11th birthday, 40th birthday. You could put the numbers right here, and that would make it like super cute, right? Which I'm fixing to do because I have to send this out to a granddaughter of mine. And that's the one I'm doing for her. Okay, next card. So is everyone doing okay? I hope everyone is keeping up with me and doing okay. So now we're going to move into our next one. So card 2 is the one with the blueberry bushel card base. And you should have a bunch of tassels and a blueberry bushel. It looks kind of like a just a real thin Sorry. So basically what you should have is you should have your blueberry bushel. You should have a 4 by 5 1/4 basic white for the inside. You should have your designer series paper. The bottom one is going to be cut to 2 3/4 by 4. And then you need a little strip of this. And the biggest thing in this is we need this little scalloped edge because we're going to actually fussy cut that. But it needs to be 4 inches wide. And then you need another basic white piece that is 2 1/2 by 4. And then you should have had all of these tassels in your kit. So for those of you that didn't get the kit, but you're crafting along, you're going to want to cut, and depending on what paper you're using, you may not even have any of this designer series paper. But if you do have, you're going to want some tassels or something like that. But you're going to need 2 of the Pool Party, 2 of the Pretty in Pink, and 1 of the Peach Pie if you're using Stampin' Up supplies. And then I already cut this out for you guys, but I think this is like you can use a 1 inch by 5 inch blueberry bushel to cut this piece out. Okay? All right, so let's get this one put together. So I think we're gonna do, I'm trying to remember if I did my stamping first or if I did my stamping. I think we need to do our stamping first just so we don't. So on this the 2 1/2 by 4, we're gonna bring, I'm using blueberry bushel, maybe, oh, I had it out. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting my head tonight, people. All right, goodness. Okay, so here's my blueberry bushel. And I'm gonna come in with that birthday one, and because you just saw me set this up, I know it's straight, right? So I can just go ahead and I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. I don't push hard because our stamp pads are, I call them juicy all the time. They're pretty juicy. So you don't have to manhandle it. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this in to where that Y is gonna be on that page, and then I'm just gonna lay that down. Okay, so there's the birthday. I'm gonna clean that. And then you need to find, you're gonna need the happy out of your stamp set. Now mine are already on blocks, and that is one thing I will tell you guys. So if you're prepping to craft along with me and you're gonna be using the same stamp sets, I'm gonna tell you, just go ahead and put them all on blocks so that you're ready. Because I don't tell you ahead of time like which ones to use. So, and I know that can be kind of, I gotta hurry up and get this on a stamp or on a block. Okay, so now we're gonna put the happy, and we're gonna put that above, and we want it to be straight. So I'm just gonna go straight down, put a little bit of pressure, and right back up. So there's my happy birthday, and that's for this one. Now for the inside, we're gonna use that Make-A-Wish. Let me clean this off. So we're gonna use the Make-A-Wish one. Alrighty, this is kind of, it's not really sticking on there. I just wanted to check, make sure, push that down and make sure it was stuck on there good. Sometimes with the photopolymer, if you use them a lot or they get a lot of our oil from our skin, they don't want to stick to the blocks. So I clean the back of them. I get a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and on the back side that sticks to the block, I will actually wipe that and clean that and let it dry, and then it becomes sticky again. Okay, so Make-A-Wish. And then down in this corner down here, I went ahead and I brought in the little tiny leaf, leaf, and I used Old Olive. And how did I pick the colors? Because that's the colors that coordinate with the cardstock or the designer series paper. So there's two ways to find that out, and I don't have the designer series paper out, but if you have the mini catalog, when you flip this over, it tells you right here all the colors that coordinate. So I could have used Old Olive or Soft Seafoam. Well, when I look at this paper that I picked, the Old Olive is what was used for the leaves. So that's what I chose to stamp with on the inside. That's how I do it. That's why I love Stampin' Up! Products, because it truly takes the guesswork out of trying to coordinate colors. All I have to do is use the colors that I'm already using in the designer series paper. Okay, and then I brought in the little tiny flower. And again, when I looked at the flowers on here, it had like the round flowers or the little flowers. So it had like the blueberry bushel, the pretty in pink, and then it has the peach pie. Or I could have done even pool party. But we're going to do the pretty in pink and the blueberry bushel. But you had choices. So again, I'm just going to ink this up. And just line that up with the top of that. And then obviously I'm going to have to clean this each time. So just a rule of thumb, which I am not using. One of the good things to do when you're stamping like this, I'm going to be using this same stamp several times. And so even though I did it backwards, just because sometimes you don't always get your stamp completely clean, it's sometimes best to go from light to dark. I did the opposite. Because, you know, I wasn't paying attention. But the reason is because that way if you do accidentally not, so like if I had done this one first and I accidentally didn't get all of this cleaned, I didn't get this stamp cleaned really well. When I went to ink up in like if I had not got the blue one cleaned and then I went to ink up in here, I would have put blue ink into this. Well, if I do it opposite where I put a little bit of the pink in the blue, because I didn't get it clean, because it's a lighter color. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's better than going dark to light. So if I had not cleaned this and then I had gone into this stamp or this ink pad, it would not have been as big a deal. Whereas if I had done the, you know, put the blue in the pink, it's a big deal. I mean, you know, ideally we don't ever want to do that, but if you get into the habit of stamping light to dark, if you do accidentally do it, it won't be as traumatic to you. This takes the stress off of you. Okay, so then we've got our pretty 3 flowers down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on the inside of our card. Oops, I got a little bit of color right up there. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now we're going to work on the front of our card. And you guys will notice I always kind of lay my cards flat and open. Now, if you're going to do that, you want to make sure you don't have a lot of ink where you're laying this, just in case it's not dry and it gets on your card. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to place this first at the bottom. And I use the same every time I'm laying a piece onto one of my card bases. I'm using that same concept where I'm trying to leave as much space at the bottom as I am on the left and right edges. And then our white piece is going to go here, but before we do that, I need to go ahead and put this little piece on because it's longer. And I want to make sure that I'm going to put it on there so that then I can clip these edges off, because it would be a lot harder if I did that first. So what we're going to do is just turn this over. I'm going to bring in one of my silicone mats. And I'm just going to take my, this is just our green glue. I've just put it in one of these containers so that I basically have more control of how much glue comes out. All right, and then now I'm going to just take this and bring this in. And I want to, the thing I'm looking at is I want to make sure I get it on this corner to this corner. And then I'm just going to lay that down like so. Alrighty. And now I'm going to turn and I am going to snip this side off and snip this side off. So I hope you guys are doing good. I'm not hearing any comments. I can see that people are on with me, but maybe it's you guys are just focused. So, or maybe it's a good thing there's no questions, right? Because everyone's doing great. All righty. Or maybe it's because you're crafting along with me. You don't have time to type in the questions, right? Oh, so many ifs. All right, so then we're going to lay that down just like that. Then what we're going to do is we are going to take this piece that's in your kit that has that scalloped edge, and we're actually going to fussy cut around the scallops, which I know is kind of a pain in the butt, but I really wanted this scalloped edge to be a scalloped edge. So I didn't want it just on this page. Now, you guys can choose to just trim really close to this edge if you don't want to do this step. You could just put this on your trimmer and you could just trim as close as you can get to the scalloped edge, still leaving a little bit of that pool party color if you don't want to do this part. Because I get that fussy cutting is not everybody's favorite. I was in that bandwagon for many, many years, but I've done it so much now that it doesn't even faze me to do fussy cutting. Okay. So there you go. And then what's fun is that you actually have this other piece that's got like a scalloped edge. Can you guys see that? I don't think my lights are shining over here. Very good. Let me move them, even though you get a reflection up here. So now we've got this that has that little scalloped edge. So now this time I'm going to use liquid glue because I want to be able to kind of snuggle this in. And I need a little bit of a wiggle room here to make sure that it fits properly. So I'm actually going to put it right at the bottom of that white piece. But I want it really snug up tight against there. And then I forgot to check my length on this one. And so this has gone a little bit over. Don't panic because you can, there's two ways you can fix this. I'm going to actually show you a different way. Obviously you can trim it, or if you have the utility knife part of your, that fits on the top of your, take your pick tool. You just have to be careful not to push real hard here because you don't want to cut through the card. But you can take your utility knife and just draw a line, draw a line, draw a line, until it, see how it came loose finally? And by just drawing, I always, and I know draw a line, draw a line. I tell myself that so that I'm not putting a lot of pressure on that. Let me just put that back on so I don't cut myself. Okay, so that's another way to do that trimming if you have that tool. Okay, so then to finish this off, we're going to add our tassels. Now you guys can add your tassels however you want to, but I am going to add them this way. So you can do your color coordination however you want. And if you guys, if you guys decided, hey, I wish I had some of the blueberry bushel ones, then, and you've got the die set, then just cut yourself some and add those. I just wanted to use, because I used the blueberry bushel for the stringer, I didn't want to use a blueberry bushel tassel. And I brought out the colors that were down here. And I could have even done a gold foil one. That would have been really pretty too, doing the gold foil one. Okay, so there's those two. And then I think I'm going to start from the outside. I usually start from the outsides and come in. Now, if you're worried about like running into your words, you could start from the inside and go out. So that's a way that you can start as well. I am trying to keep these on the white. So there's my pink, and then I'm gonna do a blue. And these I'm probably going to overlap a little bit more than I did the ones on that side, just so that it doesn't run into the birthday too deeply. This is such a fun set to play with. I mean, guys, we can all use birthday cards, right? And so this was just such a dynamic set to do birthday cards with. I mean, you could make, I mean, getting the suite, you know, it's an investment. I understand that, because there's the suite. It is not available right now. It will come back pretty soon, but it is not available right at this moment as we speak. But it is worth the investment of the $73, because by the time you use all the die cuts, all the stamps, all the paper, all of these die cuts, you're going to end up with so many cards, and birthday cards, the one thing we all need a ton of, right? And then the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, is called the Birthday Celebration Bundle, and there's that number if you guys do need that information. So even if you just bought the bundle, it's $41, then you would get all these card kits. And you'd be ready to go, because all you need is all you needed is the stamps. What do you guys think? You know, the one thing about designer series paper is it really does make it so you don't have to do as much work, because the designer series paper is so beautiful that it just lends to, you know, making something beautiful and quick. All right, our last card, obviously it's the one with the basic white card base. It should be the last kit that you guys have. All righty. You guys are all so quiet tonight. All right. Again, this one's pretty easy. I did on the inside, I did want to do a, let's talk about what you have. So you should have a pool party mat that is 4 by 5 1/4. Then you should have a basic white piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. This is for the inside. Then you should have gotten one of these pieces that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then you got the pretty in pink strip. And this will need to be, so if you guys are needing to cut, This is 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then a basic white piece that is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then you're going to need enough. So you're going to need to cut. I used Old Olive, the leaves. Now, those of you that got the kits, these are all cut for you. You already have these, okay? And then I have a pink flower, a blue flower, and then these little flowers. I have 2 pink, 2 blue, blueberry bushel, pretty in pink, peach pie, and then I have a peach pie that is this flower and a blueberry bushel flower like that. So that should be everything that you got in your kits. For those of you that need to cut, this is what you need to cut, okay? 4 of the leaves, 1 pretty in pink of the bigger flower, 1 blueberry bushel. These little tiny flowers, you need 2 pretty in pink, 1 blueberry bushel, 1 peach pie, 1 peach pie, 1 blueberry bushel. All right, and this is where I said you may not be able to complete just this part, like putting this bouquet together, but you guys can get the rest of it done with me if you have all these pieces cut. All right, so we're gonna do our stamping first. And so for the inside, whoops. Okay, so for the inside, I'm bringing that back, that hooray for your, okay. But this time, let's see if that would look cute like that. Yeah, that'll look cute like that. Okay, I'm not gonna move them. You can move them if you want to, but I'm just gonna kind of leave them how I did that first one, because we're gonna still have the hooray for your, and then we're gonna have birthday underneath. So I think it's gonna look okay. And since we already lined those up, let's just, let's make it easy for ourselves here. And I am gonna kind of put this up towards the top because I'm putting quite a few, this is like a lot of stamping on this inside, and so I want to make sure that there's room to sign names or write a small quick note if you want to. Okay, so there's the hooray for your, and then we're going to bring in that big birthday, and then that's just going to line up like so. All right, so there you go. And we already had those on blocks, so that should have been pretty easy for you. I guess I should at the beginning of each of these. I try really hard to keep this like no longer than an hour. And sometimes I have a lot of announcements to make at the beginning. And so I feel like, okay, let me set that to the side. And so on this one, on this white one, we're going to do that little banner again. I'm going to keep that here because I need that color. But remember that little banner that we did? I think it was on the first card. We're going to do that again. And here we go. So we're going to bring this banner in. And just a couple of them. We just want a couple of the little banners, like right in this little corner. Okay, and it's okay that one is just partially off there. So we just wanted them in that corner right there. Let me clean this. And then we're actually going to be working backwards. Did I not pull one out? I didn't pull one out. I thought I was leaving one out. I was like, what the heck? So we need the word day on one of your blocks, and then you need the word cake on one of your blocks as well. And then some of you don't have as many blocks as I do. Please understand the reason I have so many blocks is because I teach card classes, in-person card classes, and I use a lot of blocks. So I'm actually going to kind of go backwards with this because I want it to say cake day. So I'm going to do the day first. And I'm just going to get this straight. And I'm just going to try to center that day like that. And then I'm going to come in with the cake. And again, working kind of backwards here. And it's okay if these aren't perfectly even because this is bigger font than this. So that was kind of the fun thing. One of the fun things about this set was the font was like different sizes and different like, you know, the font was different script, different sizes, and it makes it kind of fun when you're putting these cards together. Okay, so now for the inside, all we're going to do is attach this to the mat, and that's going to go on the inside. This card's actually, besides building the little flower bouquet, this one goes together pretty darn quick. Now, I do have some of you coming to card class tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. So I'll be prepping for that as soon as I get off of this for that class, because we're doing 4 cards in that class. All right, so there's my inside. So remember how I said I just kind of open this up. I make sure there's nothing that has been stamped underneath it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this piece together, because it's just going to, the white's going to go onto the pink. And again, I'm just using my Stampin' Seal Plus. You guys use what you want to. Now for me to try to get this centered, I do the kind of the same thing, but I'm going kind of longwise or lengthwise. And I just lay it down like that, making sure that I have it flush. And then that gets it straight. Now, you might see I got a little pink right here. I'm not going to really worry about that because I'm fixing to build a bouquet. And so that's going to cover that. I would have been upset if I wasn't putting something. I would have had to come up with something to put there. Again, this, you guys have heard me say this before. I truly believe the reason that embellishments came to be is because people who were creating cards kept doing these little boo-boos with the ink and needed something to cover it so they didn't have to remake the whole card. All right, so that's going to go there, and then this piece is going to basically be centered right in this. Actually, I don't think I think I actually pulled it down a little bit closer to the bottom. And what's cool about when you have a design like this that has stripes on it, then you can actually use the top of that scallop right there to help you line up your piece. Talk about an easy button, boom, and then that goes down. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build our bouquets, and I'll just show you what I did, and I am going to be using liquid glue for this. And so the main ones that I try to make sure that I have glue on are the top edges and the leaves. So this one is going to go right here. And then before that glues, I am going to come in with let me see how I did this. Oh, I think I actually went under that one. Okay. So before that glues in place, I'm going to come in with this piece, because I kind of want this to stick under here, but I want there. I wanted that piece right there to be on top. The top of this piece, I want it on top. Okay, so now I can kind of push those down. And then on this side, again, I'm going to bring in my bottom piece first. And so it's going to go, it's actually going to crisscross here. So it's going to be more like right there. And then I'm going to come in with this one, and I'm going to start it here, and it's going to be the one that goes up and to the left. And again, I'm not pushing down hard like on that leaf, because I knew I needed this to go underneath there, like just right there. And then that's just going to go that way. So I kind of don't push down on the pieces that I know I'm going to put things behind. All right. So now, guys, it's just a matter. Now, this little center can come out, but if it stays in, it won't hurt either. If it stays in, it looks just as cute as if it comes out. So you decide. I kept mine in because I'm going to put some pearls on there, and I just thought that would be a more even place for the pearls. So now it literally is just a matter of you deciding where you want to put all of these flowers. Oh, I think I had another, I think I actually had a big one of the, I think I gave you guys a big one of the peach pie flower as well. So just put it where you want to put it. Because I didn't cut myself one of those, oh heck. Now I got to figure out how this goes in there. This is my little centerpiece, and I'm going to try to stick it back in there. I need my, you know what, I'm just going to use it like this just because I took it off of, okay, so here's this, and I think it's this way. So let me stick that, and then I'm going to try to stick that down in there the right way. Where does it, how does that go? There we go. There. Okay. Put that in there. See, you can use that putty tip even if you don't have it. So I put the other big one like this that you guys have that is peach pie. I actually have it right here. So you'll want to put yours right there, or wherever you want. You can put it wherever you want. I'll have to cut mine later and do mine later. I'll show you my original, and so you'll see where that goes. And then I took this piece, and this went right here. And then this piece. Oh, I think I had another green. Oh, you guys might have an extra green too. You do. You know what? I think I'm going to cut me one really quick because I think I need it for these flowers to fit. So give me a hot second while I cut myself one of those. You guys are probably like, wait a minute, I have another leaf. I have an extra flower. But we're going to cut that leaf. Okay. I was like, how? And I think actually what I did with this piece, if I remember correctly, I just wanted that kind of the long stem. And so I actually ended up cutting the leaf away from this. So let me see if this is right. Now that I'm looking at it, I think it went this way. Yep. Yeah, so what I did was, I think I just need that. Yeah, I just need this piece here. So I'm going to cut that away from that so I could possibly use that other little leaf later, because I just needed this like little stem. So that's why you guys have that third stem, and then that's just going to kind of fit like right there behind that leaf. And then it's going to come up there. And again, guys, you can build this however you want that makes you happy. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just here for those of you that aren't ready to spread your wings and do your own design yet, that's what I'm for. But if you're, you know, if you don't need me for this, then get going and get after it. All right, and then these little ones I just filled in, like putting them on these stems. So like that one's gonna go there. And then my little peach pie one is gonna come in and it's gonna go right here. And then I have a little blue. I had a little blue one. Oh, actually my peach pie one needs to go at the end there. There's a little end of the stem right there. So that needed to go there. And then my blueberry bushel one is going to be right below that. And then again, my my peach pie big flower I had down here. But I think this was actually looking okay without it. I don't know if I may not add that to mine since I didn't cut it right. But you have it, so if you want to put it, that's kind of where I put it. Okay. Then you also had some of the gold twisted thread, which again, it's also out right now. I do apologize. You know, it's really hard to do these videos sometimes, but the good thing is those of you that got the kits, you don't have to worry about it because you have all the supplies. Okay, so I'm doing a triple bow. Now to do a triple bow, let me see if I can do it over this white piece and you guys can see. So what you do is we're working with these two legs. So we're gonna basically wrap it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've wrapped it 3 times. And then I'm going to trim it. And then I'm going to go through the top, bring it around the bottom, and then bring this over and tie. So the good news is for anyone doing a craft along with me, you got the kits because you placed an order. The first time you place an order with me, you get my bow maker. So you should already have the bow maker. Then you just like pull that off, and then I just kind of like, see how I just kind of push these ends to make them be more round and fluffy. So I just kind of tap the ends. Whoops, that didn't tie tight. I was like, what's going on? I guess I didn't pull that very tight. So you do need to make sure you pull that tight before you pull it off the bow maker. And then we've got this nice, fluffy, pretty little bow. And I'm going to just put it down here with the glue dots. And you guys have heard me say, I always use 2 glue dots because I like to be able to maneuver I don't know if you guys call it the legs, the tails, whatever you call the bottom part that hangs down. I like to be able to, is that still not tied tight? You know what? I may have to redo this. Hold on. I don't think obviously I didn't get that tied tight. Okay, come on. And now I have a knot that I need to get, and my nails are not wanting to work. All right, come on. All right, here we go. All right, let me just redo that. I'm not sure what happened. That very rarely happens to me, so I'm not sure. I think I was going too fast and I didn't make sure that I had tied that knot tight, because you've really got to tie that knot tight before you pull it off of this. So let's pull this, and then this time I'm going to really like pull this down hard. Okay. All right. That time I think I got it. Okay, now I can bring this off. Yeah, it's feeling much better. It's actually tight this time. And again, I'm gonna fluff my bow up. And then I'm gonna lay this down. And then what I'm talking about is that when you have that extra glue dot, it allows you to kind of maneuver these. Well, if I could get it on the glue dot, that would be helpful. It allows me to maneuver these legs. I just put that on backwards. Dadgummit. I try to put the knot where I tie it on the back. Let me just pull this up. Oh my gosh, and it came undone again. Oh my heck, guys. I'm having some issues with my bow. I just need to get this thing tied and glued in place. We're going to try this one more time, and by golly, this sucker better stay together. I literally have never had this happen before. I'm not sure if I'm just not getting a good... Okay, so now let's take it off carefully. And then before I do any fussing with it, I still want to puff my edges up. But, oh yeah, okay, so now I have my legs to the back side because that's what helps hold everything in place. There we go. Oh my heck. All right. That was like a hot mess, wasn't it? And then I can kind of push my little edges and make it look pretty. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Okay. And then the last thing that I did on this one, let me just take this off so I can use the putty end of my take your pick tool. Oh, see, I ended up going over because of the stupid bow. And then you guys got some pearls. These are just our iridescent basic pearls. And I didn't use any of the like big ones. You could have on these big ones if you wanted to. I just stuck with all small ones. And so I just sent you the small ones. And so I just put these little pearls right in the middle of these flowers. And then if you have that other one, it would go right there. So if you have the peach pie one, which I will probably add later, but I'm going to bring in my original card and show you where I put that peach pie one so you guys can see that. I always design a card that I do ahead of time. So see there, that's where I put the peach pie one. And then that's where that fifth little pearl will go. Okay, guys. So that is our craft along. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you were able to keep up. For those of you that were just watching, if you have this suite, I hope that this inspired you to make some cards. These were just some really fun cards to make, and they're birthday cards, so I'm obviously going to be using them. Alrighty, so anyway, guys, just remember, let me switch it here. I will not be live next week because I will be on an airplane on the way to Stampin' Up! Convention in North Carolina. And so again, if you guys do place an order this week, you will be getting these card kits. All you have to have is a sentiment stamp set. You can either have this one with, you know, this is the birthday celebration bundle. You can either purchase this one, but all you have to do is place a $40 order with me. The link to my, to shop with me is in the description. And so just click on that, place a $40 order. It must be in by Friday for you to get it. Otherwise you won't get it till I get back from North Carolina. So anyway, no live next week, but you could replay this one and follow along and make these cards. So anyway, and again, guys, don't forget to, if you missed the save the date, remember this is coming, for those that live in the Farmington, area. I will be doing a retreat it's going to be a 2-day retreat this year. You can choose to come to 1 day or 2 days. So either one. But more information will be coming on that. So anyway, guys, have a great rest of your week. I won't see you for a couple of weeks because next week I'll be gone, and then I'll be back the following week with probably all sorts of fun stuff because I will have gone to Stampin' Up! Convention and seen all the new stuff coming out because our new annual catalog will be, we're going to get to see it and we're going to see what's in it. So I'm pretty excited. So everybody have a great evening, and I will be talking to some of you tomorrow at card class. So